Welcome back, baby. It is good to have y'all. It's good to see y'all, man. It's been a while. What have I been up to? First, let me tell you the themes of this video: Fight Club, minimalism, and moving out of the US. But what have I been up to? Well, the third thing I just said, moving out of the US. All right, let's get into it, man. If you haven't watched Fight Club, I just want to say, I just rewatched it the other night. Beautiful movie, beautiful piece on masculinity, consumerism, a social critique. The author does because it was originally a book, the author did an amazing job of conveying the concept of the Carl Jung concept of the shadow in the character of Tyler Durden, Brad Pitt's character. Just a beautiful piece, man. And it reminded me of a lot of things, and it's got some really good quotes in it. One of which is, do you own your shit or does your shit own you? And that one hit because I just got rid of all my shit once again. I literally, guys, I only own the quantity of shit that I own can fit in a small duffel bag. One small duffel bag. That's everything I own. So it's basically just like a few different outfits and some toiletries and like a laptop. That's it. That's all I own. I'm completely mobile, and I designed my life in that way very intentionally. Minimalism, mobility, autonomy. I won't say freedom. Yeah, it's free, right? Freedom can be its own cage sometimes, but basically what I'm saying is, do you own your shit or does your shit own you? Because I realized the more shit I owned, well, I can't go out of town because I gotta fuck with the dog, and what about the house and the car and I gotta fucking, and maybe one day I'll own a lot of shit, but at this phase of my life and for the past few years, I have chosen to own almost nothing. All right, now another quote from Fight Club was, we work jobs that we hate to buy shit that we don't need. I love that, man, because the main character in the story, he's like really into, this was like back in the 90s, so he was really into ordering shit from like IKEA and like collecting all these fucking, kind of like this place, honestly. Like all these cool pieces of furniture and designs and artwork and shit to make his place look all cool, right? So you work a shitty corporate slave job to buy all these little trinkets and fucking things that you don't actually need. And I love that. Anyways, why did I leave the US for the third time? First time was to go backpacking. Second time was to, because I had a remote job and I was like, let's go get the fuck out of here. Went to Mexico for a month. Went to Vancouver, Canada for 6 weeks. Don't recommend that. Quit the remote job when I was in Vancouver and then was like, well, fuck Vancouver. This is too expensive. Plus, I didn't like it there anyways. And went to Bogota. Then I stayed in Bogota for several months. Ended up spending an entire year in Colombia in a few different parts. Cali, the coffee region, Medellin, and Bogota mostly. And then was in like Bolivia for a couple months. And then I decided, all right, I'm going back to the US. I'm gonna give the US another chance. I need to be in the US. And then recently I said, fuck the US for the third time. And it is solidified in my mind at this point that I will not be living in the US, possibly ever again. The only way I would live there is if there was a very strong and compelling reason to be there, like a lot of money or I don't know, whatever. So back in Bogota, man, the US has a sickness right now. It seems like the culture has like a cold is how I would describe it, because people are weird. I mean, people are just weird at this point. I think as a result of like COVID, plus there was already some weirdness there, and then like social media and just like a kind of a cocktail of things that has made a lot of the cities in the US very not friendly places. People don't really talk to each other in public. Obviously, loneliness has increased and ramped up. Family ties are weakened. Dating and mating has decreased. It's like, it's kind of going in the wrong direction, excuse me, in my opinion. And I was like, I just don't, and especially living in a modern Western progressive city like I was in Austin, Vancouver's the same way. The culture in those places is just completely fucked. You can disagree with me, but in my belief, the culture in these modern Western progressive cities is completely fucked up. And so I said, yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. And so I came back to Bogota because that was the place in all of my travels. Look, a lot of people don't like Bogota, but for me, the weather is perfect. People go, oh, it's cold, it rains a lot. For me, I love the weather here. People also, Colombians will hear say, Bogota, that people aren't as nice. To me, they're nice. Compared to the US and Canada and all that shit, they're super nice here. There's something about it, man. The altitude, the mountains, the crisp weather. Obviously, the women are beautiful. But yeah, it's just, and it's relative to the US and Canada and all that. Again, it's fairly affordable. And yeah, man, I just really enjoyed my time here. So, and the reason I had been thinking about Bogota for so long, and we're going to get into the self-growth and the therapy stuff right here. I had been thinking about it and I wanted to come back. But I think because I didn't trust myself fully, because there is temptation in terms of women, and I had gone through this whole heady, fucked up cycle of thinking I was a sex addict and I'm just fucking out of control and all this shit. And really that was all just in my head and me pathologizing. So I think developing self-trust, not having to ask permission. I think previously, before I made a decision to come or to move or something, I would be kind of passively gauging that decision with other people, which can be good sometimes, but if you're seeking permission to do something that you deeply know is right for you, I think that can be problematic. So previously I might have, put out a feeler with a friend, like, yeah, maybe Bogota. And if they at all responded negatively, like, nah, you sure? Like, I would just shut it down. Like, no, you're right. I would be seeking their permission. So through the process of developing self-trust and self-permission, allowing myself to make decisions autonomously, I was like, you know what? I think it's time for Bogota again. And so that's what I did, man. Got rid of all my shit. Sold my car. Got rid of the place I was renting. And just came back here. And here I am to build a life of joy, stability, community, routine with exploration built in there as well. And yeah, man, I'm excited to see what this chapter here will bring. Appreciate y'all for watching, man. I'm about to start putting out a lot more videos. Let's lock in, man. Appreciate y'all.